Welcome to Koh Chang! We've travelled to Thailand over 8 times and visited some of the most beautiful Thailand islands that you can imagine. But what is Koh Chang actually like? I've actually heard it can be pretty controversial, so we need to go and see for ourselves. So Koh Chang is Thailand's 3rd largest island and is pretty close to Bangkok, compared to some of the southern islands like Koh Samui or Koh Lanta. It is part of 3 islands in the Prao province, Koh Chang, Koh Mak and Kood. Apparently there's also a secret paradise island at the south of Koh Chang called Koh Ngam Island, where you can only get to it by kayak, so we definitely need to check that out. So we're going to do a full loop of the island and see if it is really controversial and if it lives up to the hype. So first we start at the bottom of the island at Ban Bao's Fisherman village.
So we're at Ban Bao Pier, and as it turns out, it is the longest pier I've ever been to in my entire life. So you're literally walking for about, 20 minutes up and down, and there's like thousands of stalls and sellers and cafes and fresh seafood restaurants, or everything. And I guess this is the place where you get all of the boats to do tours and local islands. And I think to some of the islands like Koh Mak and Kood. So yeah, it's definitely worth a visit. It's very unusual, and it's kind of like built over the sea on stilts. So it's a bit marshy, but it's cool and it's interesting.
I think if you want to grab seafood or get a day trip to a nearby island, then it's definitely worth making a visit here. So getting around the island is pretty easy if you can ride a moped, as it only costs around 250 baht for one day. But one of the first controversial things is that there is no Grab. You can easily get taxis and there are small hop-on and hop-off cars, but you need to ask your hotel for details and prices when you get there. The taxi prices range from anywhere between 200 and 400 baht, but it does depend how far you go. So first on the list is Lonely Beach, which is known as the Backpackers Beach. So it has quite a laid-back vibe here. The beach is stunning, the sand is soft, and the water is crystal clear. The beach is pretty busy and there is a lot of music and cafes all around, but overall it's a pretty clean and nice beach. We stayed a bit further up on the island at Aana Resort, which is on Klong Prao beach. This resort is located just off the main beach in the mangroves. It's much quieter and peaceful here. The hotel even has a complimentary boat which takes you to and from the beach whenever you need. It's set in the middle of the jungle, but it wasn't busy. I think that I would say one thing that I have noticed is that Koh Chang doesn't feel overly crowded. And even though we were in peak season, the hotel was always booked out to the max, even though it didn't really feel like it. Every night there does seem to be some sort of activity. Definitely my favorite was the fire show. The next big beach, which we've heard could be the contender for the best beach on the island, is White Sand Beach. There's plenty of hotels, restaurants and bars on the beachfront, and you can literally walk up and down for 20 minutes. Make sure you visit at low tide and sunset and get some incredible pictures.
Very cool here. It's so pristine, there's no rubbish. It goes on forever. They're glassy. Oh no, it's lovely. It's lovely. Jackie yesterday, she said, there was a bunch of seaweed on the beach. We turned up, beautiful, crystal clear, and the sand is very, it's like flour under your feet.
It's one of the best beaches. Yeah, I think it's my favourite beach so far.
Really?
In the island, yeah.
It's very good.
If you want to see a bit of culture, there are a few temples to stop by. They are utterly beautiful, but they can be closed when in use.
But first we have to have a little pit stop in 7-Eleven, so I can have my chocky smoothie and Mike can have his breakfast. I asked him to not make it too sweet, but actually it's quite good. Bangin'!
If you're looking for a little bit of culture, it's worth coming to the Temple of Wat Klong Sun. It's really beautiful, it's a short stopover and definitely worth visiting. Next on the list is Koh Chang's epic waterfalls. Was it Klong Nonsi waterfall? I might have said that wrong, I'm not sure. Pay attention. But I think we've come during dry season, so it's not very wet. So let's go a bit closer and have a look. It's meant to be the best waterfall on the island and it's free, but we've arrived on a dry day. So I guess this is like normally the riverbed. You know what, my favorite thing is climbing over rocks, and I'm wearing this pretty little dress. Okay, so I can kind of see like this is the water hole. It's not super wet, so there's only like a little tiny trickle. Apparently
I know not today, but apparently this is the best waterfall on the island. So come check if it's been rainy season, and then definitely come because it's definitely a cool, like, chill out place. I'd sit here with a picnic with a 7-Eleven toasty. Yeah, see, that's what it normally looks like. But it's dry today. Oopsie, oh well. Klong Nansi waterfall. Check if it's been raining, then go.
So we're going to make our way all the way down to Koh Ngam Island, but first we've got to stop at another beach that we've heard about.
Okay, hello and welcome to Long Beach. So this is meant to be one of the best beaches on the island, if not the best. So we'll find out. So it's currently low tide and I feel like this might affect. Oh, actually, do you know what? That's actually lovely. Wow. It's very low tide, so you got this marshy bit, but actually the proper beach is nice. Okay, yeah, take it back. This is really nice. This is really nice. Yeah, I like it, because the water normally will be coming up to here, right? So this is actually a little slice of heaven, a little slice of paradise. Look at the palm trees, it's nice. Okay, I'm happy. Let's go check it out.
If you have some time, definitely check out Long Beach. This might actually be a contender for my favorite beach on the island. So we finally made it to the southernmost point of Koh Chang and we're trying to get to the tiny island of Koh Ngam. But you need to get a kayak or hire a boat to get there.
Of course, one of the main things you've got to do is come to Koh Ngam, the little island just literally like 100 meters off the south of Koh Chang, and you can rent a little kayak and go across, or you can get a little boat across. I reckon you could swim across. If I didn't have all of my electrical gear, I'd probably just swim across. It's literally 100 meters, but I will admit, I don't know what the currents are like in this ocean, so I'm not going to risk that. But yeah, we're here, and I'm here to see the very exciting strip of land, which is meant to be very famous. Let's go check it out.
The boat costs 200 baht per person for a return ticket, or you can just rent a kayak for 200 baht. Another thing to note is that this is a protected national park, so when you get on the island, you'll also need to pay a park fee, which is another 200 baht per person. This ensures the island stays clean and doesn't get overcrowded, and honestly, it makes it more special.
What are your first thoughts on the beach?
I mean, it's clearly gorgeous. The sand is super, super white and the water's clean, so I can't wait to go swim. But I feel like there's not that much to do on the island, which is not a bad thing because it means that we can just enjoy the water, maybe go on a little nature trail walk, and that's it, just chill.
It is a beautiful little island with a thin sandbank, and it's great if you want to have a quiet day and just relax. But there isn't really anything else to do on the island. There are no restaurants, but if you fancy a little snacky, there is a small stall selling food and drinks. There are also some toilets on the island as well. This remote little island definitely has the same sort of vibe as some of the other islands we've been to in Thailand, like Ang Thong. It's definitely a great option for a day trip on Koh Chang.
I've got to say, you have some pretty spectacular viewpoints on this island. Look at this.
For hotels, the island has options for all budgets. We stayed in the Aana and the Chill Resort, which has beds on balconies, but there are tons of amazing top quality places to stay. The only thing I'd recommend is to book in advance because it does get busy.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen a sunset that is so rosy. Like, it's hard to see on camera, but it is literally the most golden, rosy thing that I've ever seen. It's stunning.
Lastly, if you do get the chance, I would highly recommend a visit to one of the neighbouring islands like Koh Mak or Koh Kood. We stayed on Koh Kood for a week and the beaches there are honestly at another level. The island is smaller, so it is harder to get around, but in my opinion, the beaches are some of the best I've ever seen in all of Thailand. Honestly, they're Maldives worthy. So all in all, Koh Chang is a great option if you want an easy journey from Bangkok, so I'd definitely recommend a visit. If you're still unsure or would prefer an island with more activities, have a look at our full guide on Koh Samui. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy travelling!